Okay, welcome. I'm Lisa Brown, independent demonstrator in the United States for Stampin' Up! And coming to you from Southeast Texas right now. And we are going to be making some projects with some new product from the Stampin' Up! Mini catalog. And I'm going to sometimes call it J to J because it's January to June. And the celebration brochure. Now, this year, Stampin' Up! Is doing something new, which is super exciting. We have celebration. If you've noticed, it's just 2 months long, okay? January to the end of February. And so the reason for that is we're going to have another celebration in July, August, I believe it is. July, August. I may be wrong on that, but I think that's what it is. It's right there at the start of the, to coincide, I believe, with the other mini that will come out. So closer to the holiday season. So anyway, I'm super excited about that. Some great offerings, and one is really just outdoing all of them. So, and I'm making a card with that one today. So anyway, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm going to flip the phone down and get started. So let's go. Let me see if I can do this without too much issue. There we go. Not too bad. Okay. So first, I want to talk about the new basic white. If you are on my email list, and if you're not, you should be, because you'll get lots of information as soon as I get it there. Now, yesterday morning, I happened to post it on Facebook first because it surprised me. But the new basic white that's replacing our Whisper White is now available. And here is the flyer. And yesterday what I did is I ordered the basic white cardstock. Okay, I wanted to see it and work with it some and let you see me work with it too. So that should be in later this week. We have the thick cardstock offering, the 12 by 12 cardstock, the Memories and More cards, the 3 by 3 envelopes, the note cards and envelopes, and our usual medium envelopes, all in the new basic white. Okay, so I will be posting this flyer on my blog and also up here in the files section. I think I can do that here, somewhere here on this business page, okay, and in my groups as well. So this is the new basic white, which is replacing our Whisper White, and the ordering numbers, okay? So we'll just want you to be aware of that. And also, again, I will upload this file for your reference, okay? And let's see. Okay, and then last week, some of you were so gracious to share my video, and I appreciate that. And I did a little drawing to get one of the calendars, and Bonnie Landry name was chosen through random draw. Good morning, Lynn. And so she's going to be getting this little calendar, okay? All right, let me get started here. I'm going to set up my iPad so it's easier for me to see comments when I'm sitting, and we'll get started. Okay, the first card is going to feature this set, and I'm using just the stamp set and not the dies this morning. So let me pull this up here. Come on in and say hello. Thank you for being here. I've got my door closed to this room. Mia knows I'm doing my videos, so she's out there with her mama in the living room. Okay. Okay. And now she's listening to, what 3-year-old do you know that requests the Greatest Showman soundtrack to listen to? You know? Okay, I got to turn my sound off on this. So, anyway, thank you, Lynn. So, okay, I've got my iPad going here so I can see comments more easily, and I'm going to have a seat, adjust my lighting a little bit, and we'll get started. I'm going to pull the catalog down. And let's see. Okay, so in the catalog, and I decided not to do a page-by-page walkthrough right now. I mean, if you really want me to do that, I'll set up a time to do it, but, and I know some of you haven't gotten your catalogs, but they're coming, and let me know if by Friday you don't get it, okay? So thank you, Pam, for sharing. Hey, Stacy. Okay, so I'm using the stamp set from the Fine Art Floral Suite. This is beautiful, okay? I just can't say enough about it. It's on page 32 and 33 of the January to June 21 mini catalog from Stampin' Up. Beautiful Stampin' Up copyrighted images. And here's the stamp set, okay? And the dies... Let me see. I didn't pull mine out because I didn't want to clutter the desk. But it cuts out the flowers. Okay, this is a two-step stamp. It cuts out this set of flowers. Okay, the stem, this little one. Okay, and this can overstamp this. All right, this is a two-step for this. And I didn't use that today. I was trying to keep it simple. And then you have these two little label dies that are scalloped that are great, almost like a postage stamp edge, wouldn't you say, to cut out these sentiments. And also this just want to say, okay, die that you run it through, and I'm going to be making a card and showing a video on that soon. It just pops out so easily, okay? And what's great about this, like... See this just want to say card? That's beautiful here. It says I miss you, but you could do a card that just had that on the front, and on the inside wait until you know what type of card you needed, and then stamp the inside with one of the sentiments. So that's how I'm using it a lot. But anyway, some really pretty floral images, just very simple stamping, and that's what we're doing today. Okay. So for our first card, I chose Mary Merlot, which is a color that I haven't used in quite a while. It reminds me of our old Bravo Burgundy, and just a beautiful, rich color, but it's one of our neutrals, okay? And so, good morning, Diane. And so it's cut 5.5 by 8.5, and then I folded it in half at 4 1/4. And then I gave it a good crease with my bone folder. Okay, so that makes it lay really flat. All right, the next thing I want to show you is another item. And I'm going to show you the cardstock, but this is what can be overlooked, and that's what I want to point out. This embossing folder right here, let's see, what's the name? Painted Texture 3D. It's so pretty. Let me show you you can see it better if I show you the label here, okay? Just a beautiful embossing folder. And I took another piece of Mary Merlot, 4 by 5 1/4, and I textured that with that embossing folder. And that's going to be the next layer on top of the card base. All right. Then, since we did not have any white cardstock, I wanted to look in my stash and find something that I could stamp on that would be really pretty. So I chose a piece of shimmery white cardstock, and this is cut at 2 3/4 by 3 1/4, okay? And so I'm going to be stamping on that. And then for the background, I chose a brushed metal metallic. I believe this carried over. If not, you can use any of the metallics in our catalogs, okay? And that goes behind that to layer, and it is going to be 3 by 3 1/2, okay? Just a simple layer behind that, okay? So let's get started. I'm going to first do the stamping. Now, I wanted to show a way that you could use the stamp and make it multicolored, even if you didn't have our Stampin' Right markers, which are our water-based markers. Good morning, Kathy. That usually that we can use to color a stamp, okay? So I'm going to mount this right here. And I want the flowers to be one color, and of course the stem to be in a green, okay? And if I don't have the Stampin' Right markers, but I have ink pads, here's how you can do that, okay? Here's Old Olive, and I'm using Flirty Flamingo, okay? And I'm going to open up the Flirty Flamingo and the Old Olive, and I'm going to get 2 sponge daubers, okay? And let me get those out of my bag here. All right, so I'm going to take the Flirty Flamingo and ink that up, and then I'm just going to dab it onto my ink pad and onto the flowers, on the stamp, directly to the stamp. Now, I do want to mention, because I do know I have some stampers that are new to stamping and are just starting card making that follow me. I want to add that, you know, even if you have alcohol markers, you cannot color on the rubber stamps with the alcohol markers, okay? You have to use the water-based Stampin' Right markers or our ink pads. So here you can see I'm dabbing and adding that color. Now it's getting on part of the stem, but I don't worry about that, okay? It's going to be really artsy looking. I mean, this is the Artful Gallery set, right? Okay, so let me ink this up. I think I need to re-ink my Old Olive. So I'm just getting the stems here, okay? And I'm not worried about the parts up there close to the blossom. I'm just getting mainly the leaves and down here at the bottom. I definitely need to re-ink this pad, but it's going to work, you'll see. All right. So I'm going to take this and I am going to stamp it over here. And I'm debating if I want to stamp off or not, but I'm going to try full strength. And if it's too dark, I'll turn it over and stamp on the back because of the other little technique I'm going to do. And that should be okay. All right, you see how pretty that is? And there's my leaves and in Old Olive, and they're pretty faint, so it's probably to my benefit that the Old Olive needs more ink, because I wouldn't want it to be too dark because of what I'm going to do next. So this is where our grid paper comes into play. You can, if you don't have a Stamparatus, you could also do this next technique that I'm doing with a Stamparatus. But if you don't have one, if you're just starting out, okay, I'm just lining this up against this center line, and I'm going to use these grid lines to help me stamp the sentiment thank you down the edge, okay? So let me find my block and get the thank you from here, if I can find it. Yep, there it is. It's the smallest one, and I'm going to just mount that on this block. Move this down a little bit. Hope my head's not in the camera. And do that. Okay. Oops. I'm going to get it close. You may not see it, but I need to line it up. So I'm lining it up on a grid sheet line and then going like that. Good morning from Pennsylvania. Hey, Connie. How's it going? All right. So now I'm taking Mary Merlot, which is what I'm using for the card base. And again, this is shimmery white because I did not yet have my basic white that we can order now. Okay. I'm going to open this up. And I'm going to use this to stamp randomly. I'm going to make sure y'all can see this, but I need to move it where I can see it without sticking my head in. Okay, so I'm going to ink up. And I'm going to come up here and line this up on those grid lines. And I'm not going to start with the very top one. Okay, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to stagger how I stamp this. Okay, there's one. And then I'm going to come on and do on the next grid line another. and then just stagger. The whole phrase won't be on there every time. This time I'm moving over to get the entire phrase, and I'm stamping over that blossom. But since this is a darker ink, okay, it's going to work, and you're going to be able to see that. Now, if you were using darker colors on your flowers, you would want to stamp off first, you know what I mean? Ink it up, stamp off on scratch paper, then stamp on your cardstock. And like that, it wouldn't be too bold of an image, and your sentiments would show, okay? So I'm just doing this. And again, you could do this with the Stamparatus, but if you don't have one, if you're just starting out, you can do it with grid paper. I definitely recommend the grid paper, okay? Trying to decide how I want to do this. I'm moving way over, and then I'm going to come and stamp again right here. Okay, so I'm going to leave that space at the top like I did at the bottom. So you see how that's just really an interesting way to stamp a sentiment onto a card, okay? And it's small and fits, you know, you can stamp repetitively and get that look, okay? All right, so now we've got that. And I want to show you, I didn't do it on this particular card because I wanted the sentiment to really stand out. But we have this little, the two-step stamping image, this little outline image, so to speak, that you could use to stamp over, okay, over the blossoms. It matches, you just have to kind of line it up. It matches each of the blossoms, you just line it up, and then that would give that two-step look, okay? All right, I'll put that back so I don't lose it, and now let's continue on with our card. So let's see what I'm going to use here. My liquid glue. Sometimes with metallics, I like to use the liquid glue, but you have to be careful because it slips, especially on metallic. And if you don't set it aside, note to self, Lisa, and let it dry a little bit, then it can slip and be crooked on there. Okay, so I'm putting it down, trying to get a border around all the edges. Okay. And then I'm going to move this right here and let it dry, okay? So now, here is that beautiful embossed piece, okay, from this folder again, if you're just tuning in, Painted Texture 3D Embossing folder. It's in that Artful Fine Art Floral suite. Cut 4 by 5 1/4, ran it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You have to use the larger one for this one, okay? And y'all do know that the mini is available. So cute. I love it. I try to use it every chance I get. That's going to layer there, but first I wanted to add some ribbon. So the ribbon in this suite is, let me get the name of it, y'all. It's beautiful. Oh, Fine Art Ribbon, of course, Fine Art Ribbon. And it's got gold metallic threads through it, okay? So I'm going to take it, I cut about 14 to 16 inches. And I'm going to take this and just tie it. And it's going to be a knot here in the center. And this is probably a little bit extra ribbon, but I did that. I always, if I'm going to cut it and not just use it off of the spool, I cut it a little longer than I need so that if I want to tie a bow, I have enough, okay? All right, so let me put it down. All right, so there's our bow. Snippets in the trash. All right, so we got this. That's ready to go. So hopefully this little baby is dry, and we're just going to put it right there. So you could totally step this up a bit if you stamped that image onto, you know, another piece of cardstock and then die cut it and then mounted it on here with dimensionals. then you could still see partial around it. But I just like this stamping over this image here for a fun technique, especially if you're just starting out. Or if you're wanting something that's a little quicker, you know? If we all have need for that every now and then. Okay, so I'm centering that top to bottom there, and you can see I've just got about 1/8 of an inch over here on the side. And then we're going to mount it onto our card base. Like this. Okay. So you see, isn't that a sweet card? Isn't that going to be sweet? I'm going to add a little bit of embellishment. Good morning if you're just tuning in. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so here we go. All right. So to add a little bit of bling, I did not have a lot of the new embellishments yet, okay? But I thought, what can I use that would go with this brushed metallic gold? And so I've got my, look at my few champagne rhinestones there. Okay, I'm gonna get one of my old paper piercers and just pick this up, and I'm just gonna kind of put one here. One here. Sometimes I think I should put those closer together, but I think it does the trick. Okay, and then let me show you the inside of the card. Move this out of the way. Here's my sample that I made. And did I do an inside? Oh, I didn't. Okay, so let's just do an inside, okay? All right, so I have a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of my old Whisper White, so any neutral there, okay? And let's see what we can use. I think I'm going to take this little floral stamp here. Okay. Thank you, Pam. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so I'm going to take this, and I'm going to get my Floaty Flamingo ink. Hiding over here. And I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to stamp full strength the first time in the center down here. Okay? Then I'm going to stamp again. Then I'm going to stamp off and come here, stamp here. See? 2 shades of the same color. Okay. All right. So there we have a sweet inside for the card and room to write a thank you message. And let's go ahead and do this. So I asked early on, when I first started, if you've seen the celebration item choices, what do you think, for me anyway, with what's been ordered from me, what do you think is the most popular choice in the celebration brochure? Thank you, Linda. I love it too. I love, love, love it. Thank you. Thanks, Diane. Okay, so you see how sweet that turned out? Okay. Anybody have a guess on what the most popular choice is? Nobody's wanting to guess, or you might not be familiar enough with them to know. I'm cleaning my stamps while I do this. Let's see. Thank you, Lynn. The donkeys. You got it, Linda. Linda's on my team. The donkeys. The donkeys. Lynn, I love berry blessings. I think you may be the only one that's gotten that so far from me. So, but yes, I love it. And I can't wait to get the strawberry set that coordinates with it. And I ordered that yesterday. So you will be seeing that So fun. Okay. All right. Clean that up. Let's get these going. I'll put this aside and... Yep, the donkeys. The donkeys. And in fact, the donkeys is what we're going to be working with next. Let me get this out of the way. Put my stamps up so I don't lose them. Sometimes I try to be quick and hurry for y'all, but, you know, we're not in a hurry, are we? You can always come back and watch later if you have to scat. And happy 12th night. Happy 12th day of Christmas. This is really the official start of Mardi Gras, but not much Mardi Gras going on this year, ladies. Again, which, you know, we got to be safe. So, okay, putting that aside, and this next stamp set, next card, I am using this one, Darling Donkeys. Let me see if I can get it up closer. I mean, people have gone crazy over it, okay? It is really cute, and I'm going to show you one card that I received in my team. My Stars team did a swap, and here's the one I got with this donkey set. Hee-haw, kicking 2020 to the curb. Look at that. Isn't that cute? And this is the Oso Ombre designer paper 6x6 that is in a celebration choice as well. I love that paper. And this looks like it's the nested labels from the annual catalog, and this ribbon is from the maybe the greenery. No, not the greenery. The one with all the flowers for every season ribbon. And it looks like early espresso, and she just like used a little outline and did look like blender pen to kind of smudge it a bit. And then this is this color. Yeah. I can't even think. What is that color? I mean, hello, Lisa. Let's see if I can find. It's not Rococo Rose. Oh, Blackberry Bliss. It's just not. It's because it's a gradient color. It's not as dark. It's Blackberry Bliss, okay? And look at the inside. Just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way. And I think this is from one of this, and I want this set too. I don't have it yet. But it's a sentiment set, and it's great. Let me see if I can find it. We're not in a hurry. Just gonna... that's why I call it Craft and Chat, y'all, because you know I'm going to be chatting. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to find, you know, at the back is an index of everything. Let me find it. There it is. Happy Thoughts stamp set, page 28. Well, oops, goodness. Page 28. Let me find it. Here it is. I love it, y'all. It's on page 28. It's one of the $1 Million Achievers stamp sets that she designed. And beautiful font and great sentiments. And I like the size of them, okay? Those are Stampin' Up! Copyrighted stamps. Beautiful. And I love how this little donkey's just pinking in over the side. Isn't that cute? And look, she took a strip of the scrap of the paper and lined there. Good job, Diana. Diana is on my Stars team as well. Great job. Okay, so let's get started. What do I do with this stuff? Right here. Okay, for me, I'm using the Oso Ombre, but I chose Rococo Rose. Okay, 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm just going to meet the edges there. Take my bone folder. Look, y'all, it's my mom's bone folder. God rest her soul. I love it when I use that. It makes me think of her every time. Well, I think about her all the time anyway, but you know what I mean. It's like she's right here with me. She would come to my stamp club when she was able. So sweet. Okay, so then I have layers to go on top. And I chose Gray Granite as a neutral, okay? Then I have Whisper White, which would be our basic white now, okay? And then the Oso Ombre and Rococo Rose. So, let me look at my notes here so I won't tell you wrong. So the Rococo Rose, again, is 5.5 by 8.5. The Ombre is 3 1/4 by 4.5. The light neutral, which is what I put, the basic white would be 3.5 by 4 3/4. And then you'd need a scrap piece to punch. And then, or to cut out. And then Gray Granite is 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, so they layer like this, but I'm going to do the cattywampus thing on this card. So it's going to be a landscape card. This would be portrait. Okay, this is landscape. And it's the same cut, 5.5 by 8.5. You just turn it the other way. Some people call it a tent fold. Okay. Okay, and so let me see what I want to do. I'm just going to show you how I'm going to layer this down. I'm going to take this one and do that. And then come back with this way with this one. And then go like that. Okay? So I'll glue those down in a minute. I want to go ahead and start stamping. So I have a scrap piece of Whisper White. I have my Darling Donkey stamp set. And I used all 3 images, but I'm going to only stamp and color this one. The other 2 are ready to go. Okay, so I need that guy with the rose in his mouth. And I need Hey There Friend. So let me go ahead and get those ready. Thank you, Parson. Okay. All right. Get these ready to go. And on this, the ink I'm using is only Memento Black because I'm using my Stampin' Blends. Okay, I must mount those. Put this aside. I think that's all I need from that. So let's get my Memento ink here. And I'm going to ink up this little guy. And a lot of times I'll like to lay my stamp down and then come with the ink pad on top, especially if it's larger than a little stamp. So like that I can see the coverage, especially if I'm going to be coloring it, okay? I don't want to have to restamp, especially since it's not photopolymer. So I'm going to stamp him over here because he's going to be fussy cut out, okay? And then I need the sentiment. And I'll be cutting this out as well. And stamp right here. And let's put the ink away. And I'm going to show you the colors that I chose for this. Now, you know, our Stampin' Blends come in a combo pack, a light and a dark. So, what I've used here is Gray Granite. This is Ivory. This is Petal Pink, Old Olive, Real Red, and the Color Lifter. Okay, so what I've done is I've used the light of every shade except for Gray Granite. I'm using a little bit of both. Okay, and that's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with light, and I just kind of color. Y'all know me. It's just like, it's not really a rhyme or reason, but just get it colored. And then I try to do some shading. So I try to go darker, probably around the edges and where the shadows would be. And so let me get here and underneath his chin. And I'll come back with the dark in a minute. I just want to get the light down and then color in the center. So has anyone here not tried Stampin' Blends? I know I have some people that, you know, they are trying to add to their order to get it up to $50, and they'll say, you know, I want to get to 50, you know, what should I add? And I always say, have you tried Stampin' Blends? I mean, you know, and I've got a video. I'm probably going to repost it because I think it's a good tip video about if you're just starting with blends, what colors to get, you know, how to choose what colors, because, you know, it can be overwhelming. I get that. But once you try them, it's like, there ain't no turning back, right? I mean, that's the way I feel. So, but you always add stamp and seal. Oh, to your orders? Yeah. Yeah. To get it up to the, yeah, what you need. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely for sure adhesive. You can't go wrong buying adhesive. So, okay, so there's our guy in light gray granite. And then I'm going to come in with the dark and go just some accent areas, okay? The tail, and then right here, here under the chin, here, this back leg. Lynn, how are you liking the Stampin' Seal? I know it was a learning curve for me. Good for you, Lynn. Good. What you cooking today? I have to do, I've been doing some cooking here and enjoy that. I'm thinking I might put some chicken in the crock pot. I have to go, and my dad still can't drive, so Kristen and I are going to take him to pick up his lunch at the senior citizens. Now, the senior citizens aren't gathering, but they are doing, for their members, they're doing, you can drive up and pick up lunch, but you can't, the senior, the person getting the lunch, has to be in the car with you. So we're going to go pick up my dad and go get his lunch. And he looks forward to that. Pork tenderloin with apple glaze and Brussels sprouts. Yes, Lynn, that's my preference too, is to eat the big meal at lunch. So much my preference. By the time evening gets here, I'm done. You know, it's like I might want to stamp, but if I can start early, or even if we do the big meal in the evening, I want to be done cooking by 5 o'clock. So, okay, you see this color lifter? It's just picking up some of the color, and you got to let it dry before you see. So I'm trying to think about where, if the sun was shining on him, what would be bright. But Lynn, that sounds really good. Okay, I need to color this in some more. Okay, so now I'm going to take Petal Pink and color the inside of the ear. Okay. Then the rose is going to be light, real red. And I might do the Stampin', the, what do you call it? Color lifter on this a bit in a minute. And then light oak olive for the stem. Okay. Then I'm taking the ivory, here it is, and doing his little snout. and his hooves. And I'm leaving his teeth alone. Okay, there he is. I'm thinking I want a little bit more definition here. A little more darkness, shadowing. Okay, so now let's fussy cut him out. Okay, here we go. This card is really fun, y'all. It's you know, it takes a little time to do the fussy cutting, but it's got such an impact. Okay, but yeah, this stamp set has been very popular. You've probably seen tons of cards with it. This one was like, I gotta use all of these guys. I couldn't pick just one. So that's what I did. And I don't worry about getting too close because I don't want to cut into the image, okay? This is a little bit tricky here down here though. So I'm gonna roughly cut around him. And now I'm not dealing with all that paper. Okay. Okay. Okay, I am slowly but surely getting this, so hang with me. It's gonna be cute, promise. I can't tell yet what the most favorite set is, but the bundle from the mini, but I have a feeling the hydrangea set is very popular. This set is very popular. And we have another new embellishment. It's called the leafing, the gold leafing that I have coming in, and I'll show you. I'll be doing a video on how to use that. I'm sure I will make a mess with it. It's just so lightweight, flaky. You know, I got to get a container to put it in. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you will soon, because I've got some on order. And you will be seeing more projects with the art gallery set in that bundle too. Okay, that's good. And then the sentiment here, I'm just going to cut around it like this. Again, this is if you are a beginner and you don't have that many tools, this is a good idea for a card. You need a trimmer, scissors, stamps, something to color with, and paper. Stamps, ink, and paper, pretty much. Okay, here we go. Let's start building. Let me get my other guys out of here. The brothers. Here we go. See, here are the other two guys. Aren't they cute? Look at that. I love his face. So cute. All right, let's put this down. Okay. Okay, so this I'm going to angle just a bit this way. And this just makes for a different look of a background, okay? Instead of having everything layered up. And then I'm going to come with this next layer and angle it the other way. Okay. Okay, and then here's the Oso Ombre paper, and I'm going to angle it this way. And I try not to do the same angle as that back layer. I want it a little bit different. just for interest. Okay. There's that. Now, let's put it together. This guy's going to go here. This tall one in the middle. And this cutie over here. And, okay, I'm going to use mini dimensionals to mount them. Okay. I try to get it where it's going to balance it out, you know, be pretty stable. So I'm going to put this one down first. Like that, I know how to angle the rest of them. If you're just joining, welcome. Thank you for being here. If you've missed the first part, you can go back and watch the replay. It'll remain up here on Facebook, and I'll probably upload it to my YouTube channel too. Okay, so put him there. Let's get this guy going. Do y'all use a lot of mini dimensionals? I normally go for the big ones, you know, the larger ones, but on some of these delicate fussy cut pieces, you just need the smaller ones. Okay, I'm gonna get the paper off and put this next one on. Y'all, I am just so excited about crafting with the new stuff. I can't do it fast enough for me. Okay. This guy's going to go about right here. And then this cute little face. It's the cutest little face on this one. Okay. Next Wednesday, I will try to go live again in the morning, 10, try to do my regular time. It's my dad's 91st birthday, though. So, hope to be socially distancing, celebrating it that evening. Hope the weather's nice. Okay, here we go. Oh, he's kind of crooked. I try to see. Okay, I want him a little straighter because I try to keep them in line with the card base, you know, not necessarily the angle of the paper on there. So here we go. That'll work. Whew, thank you, Dimensionals, for letting me lift you up. Okay, there's that. And then, hey there, friend, we're going to put right up here in the corner. And this one I leave blank on the inside in case I want to make it happy birthday, thinking of you. Okay. So, this. Right there is good. Then I have just my basic pearls. Okay, and I'm going to take the dark gray granite and color 3 of them. Thank you, Pam. Yeah, the colors. Yeah. And sometimes, you know, when I'm designing, if things aren't working out, you know, I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, you know, what is it? What is it that I'm missing? And it's because I'm using too many colors. Now, some things work. Sometimes that works to use lots of different colors. But when you don't want to overwhelm, when that background is your focal point and you have a sentiment, that's great. But when you want like these guys to stand out, you want to keep that background pretty uniform and you know what I mean. Yeah, it's cute, Lynn. Super cute. Okay, let me see where I want to put these. I think I'm going to put one right here and then two of them up here. I probably could use more, but I'm leaving it because I'm also going to use some of this seam binding ribbon. Put this up before I stab myself. And I'm going to tie a bow. This one I'm leaving on the bolt because I don't know. You're going to need a good 18 to 24 inches if you're tying a bow, okay? This is such pretty ribbon, though. And I could have colored it with my blends, too, but I didn't. I left it white because of all the other color. Didn't want to overshadow the Rococo Rose. Let me get my ribbon scissors. Okay, and on the inside, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I think I may copy Diana's idea. Let me turn this like this. Probably we'll put a glue dot underneath that just to stabilize it. But isn't that super cute? Okay, and here's the first one I did. Okay, so fun. So on the inside, like Diana did this one with this peeking over the corner, okay? I think I may do that maybe with this guy on a piece of the basic white and have it peeking over the corner down here. So there's that, okay? And then I have these using Art Gallery, Darling Donkeys, and those are our cards for today. Let's see if there's any questions. I'm going to go back through, give you a minute to... You have any questions about anything? Is anybody needing a catalog? Kathy, did you want a catalog? I don't know if you're still here. I don't know if I got you one. I may have ordered it to send to you later. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be doing more videos. Okay, Stacy, I got one for you. Yeah, Parson, that works for me so much of the time. Okay, Kathy, I've got one for you. You're welcome. Thank y'all so much for being here. Just let me know if I can help you with anything. And as always, so I know one thing I want to point out is when you are ordering, look for... At the end, if your order is $50 or more, you know, you qualify for celebration, and there's a little pink bar that says add celebration. Be sure you look for that at the end if your order is $50 or more, okay? Thank you, Lynn. Thanks for watching, and enjoy that meal. Sounds delicious. Okay? All right, everyone. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you again soon. Let me know if I can help you. Bye-bye.